How bad's the hair? Nope. I need a shower. That's after videoing. It should be the other way around. I know. Whatever. Here's the deal. Today is about peeing your pants. So I have spent 6 months losing 70 pounds, not adding exercise or anything. It has just been because I have been sick with gallbladder issues and other issues that I'm going to share today. A lot of them I haven't really shared yet because I'm not sure I understand them yet myself. But we did a colonoscopy and an endoscopy as well as all of the gallbladder stuff before my gallbladder surgery. And so what we found is that I had polyps in my colon and rectum, which is fairly normal. Whoa. Don't look at me. Just listen. This should be a podcast. So I have polyps in my colon and rectum, and I also have some other areas where they're looking a little bit ulcery, but they're not there yet. I have to repeat my colonoscopy in 3 years. They think I'm going to be okay. But as of now, I'm having issues. And I think it has to do with the way that my body has been digesting everything for the last 6 months. It has just wrecked my digestive system. And that's obvious. I mean, that's logical. My endoscope showed that I had many, many places in my stomach that were almost ulcers, like they were very close to being ulcers. So I got put on Prilosec that I now take at night to help reduce the stomach acid. Actually, it does something else, but that's part of what it does. So it helps. I mean, I don't see really a difference. What I was having symptom-wise is, 6 months ago, before I burned the hell out of my esophagus, all coughing started, mucus in the back of my throat. And by the way, I hate this. This is a thyroid problem. This is my thyroid, and I have hypothyroid disease, and it looks like a butt on my neck. Sorry, I'm very self-conscious about this, so I will get it eventually taken care of. But I have hypothyroid disease, so my thyroid looks big. Sometimes it looks small. Sometimes it doesn't work properly. I don't have enough thyroid hormone, so I take a pill every day. That's what that is, and that's what that weird, horrible self-consciousness is. Anyway, so urinary incontinence. Side note, I have found that I went into YouTube because I was trying to figure out some muscle strengthening exercises I could share for your pelvic wall. And what I found was really interesting is that if you go into YouTube and you type in how to stop urinary leakage, half of the videos that come up are for men. Who knew? I didn't know. I guess that's because I'm not a doctor. And you should never take my word for it. You should always do your own research. But I had no idea men suffered from this problem. That's crazy. And that's interesting to know. I guess men suffer from all kinds of things we don't know about because they don't talk about their health. So whatever, that was my weird side note. That's interesting that men have the same problems though. It's common after you're 40 years old, and I didn't know that. I think urinary incontinence, and I think, that's in your 60s or 70s. That's when you can't, your body doesn't work anymore. Well, first of all, my body doesn't work properly anymore. But I have found over the last 6 months to a year, I've had a lot of coughing, a lot of acid reflux, and when chronic coughing, I've had an asthma test, I've had heart test, I've had GERD test. That's why we went in for the endoscope, because of the coughing and the chest pain. So my nose is runny today. Tissue somewhere. So when we did the endoscope, we found that I had ulcerous spots that were becoming ulcers in my belly. Shocking. I don't eat enough. I'm stressed to all get up. And then, you don't need anything else. That's all it takes to get ulcers. Because you have hydrochloric acid in your stomach, guys. You have acid in your stomach. And if you don't put food in to neutralize that acid, it just burns in there. and you produce more mucus because it's burning. And that is what was, and I have a leaky valve, which is one thing we found. So that a lot of that mucus and acid is causing a lot of the vomiting, because when I cough, that leaky valve, when you cough, I'm gonna do a diagram. If this is your bladder, okay, you get urine in here, and this is closed. So there's muscles, okay? And this is your muscles. But there's also, everybody talks about the pelvic floor. Let me explain to you what that is. Okay, women, when we have children, these pelvic floor muscles get all stretched out. So they go this way. And then after we have a baby, they're expected to go back to normal like this. Well, they're loose by then. So here's the deal. When you cough or sneeze or exert pressure, like lifting, this is where your bladder is, okay? But there's up here in your abdominal cavity, if these are your lungs, okay? See, there's your bladder, there's your lungs. There's a diaphragm right here. That's how you breathe, okay? It goes down and it goes up. When it goes down, it creates pressure in here. And when it creates pressure, it pushes down on the bladder. There's a diaphragm under your lungs. Your lungs are here. When you cough, you expel pressure, okay? Your diaphragm's going boom, and these are your lungs, and they're going huh, 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 and you're expelling pressure, and your diaphragm's going Where's that pressure gonna go? It goes lower. And what's under your diaphragm, way below all the organs that pressure's pushing on? Your bladder. Because your lungs, when you actually cough right now, and you'll feel the pressure push out on your lungs. So if that's pushing out and down, where's your diaphragm gonna go? It's gonna go down. So it's pushing pressure on that bladder. Really fast pressure. So that's why if these muscles are weak and there's pressure pushing down, the bladder will contract and all that urine will leak through this one, because the pelvic wall is actually holding this sphincter shut. So if this pelvic wall is still really loose from having babies or sickness or coughing uncontrollably forever, this is how to fix it. You have to strengthen this muscle, your pelvic wall. What do you do about it? Okay, I'm going to put in the description. I think I just learned how to do that. I kind of suck at technology stuff. So I'm going to try to put in the description a link to a video I found that was really educational. It's only like 3 minutes long. Exercise. Your pelvic wall is a part of your core. And so when you're doing your core workout, you should be trying to strengthen your pelvic wall as well. I have no core left. I've coughed for so long and so hard, and broken ribs, I feel, and messed things up inside for coughing and being sick for so long that I have to do a lot of work now. The other problem with what I'm going through is the diarrhea. Let's face it, I had a gallbladder removal and it wasn't working very well to begin with. So the amount of bile that was going through my system to assist with digestion was not correct. So it was either total constipation for like a few days, or I was having literally explosive diarrhea all the time. So I seriously did consider wearing diapers, because when you're coughing uncontrollably all the time, like every time I breathe in, listen, you can't hear it, but that deep breath, mucus. So when you have a chronic cough, weak pelvic floor muscles, pressure in your belly from leakage, leaky gut syndrome, and chronic cough and everything else that goes along with it. When you have too much acid in your belly and you're burned in your belly, and I mean, all of those things cause diarrhea, incontinence, constipation, a horrible cycle, and it was agony, and that's why I've lost 70 pounds. I don't recommend it to anybody, but at least I understand a heck of a lot more now. And this video is super, super, super long, and that's gonna mean I'm gonna have to part 1 and part 2, but that's okay. I don't ever ask people to leave comments or subscribe or crap like that, but if you want me to talk about more medical things about women in your 40s that nobody wants to talk about, let me know. I'll do it. I'll do it. I don't care. You can judge me. I think I'm pretty confident in my self-esteem. I got some self-esteem. Anyway, okay, so no, I don't wear diapers. Have I considered it? Absolutely. Because who wants to walk around with 2 extra pairs of underwear and clothes and then try to explain why all of a sudden you disappeared and changed? You don't leave the house. It sucks. And you know what you really dread? Sitting in the kids' pickup line. Whatever. Okay, that's my series. So, if you're having urinary incontinence, there is total hope, I've heard. You don't have to have diapers. You don't have to wear period underwear to catch all the urine and all of that nastiness. Life will go on. People don't need to know what you're going through. Just work on your pelvic core. So, yeah, that was this video. Every time you increase the pressure by your diaphragm going down quickly from exerting anything, a cough, a sneeze, running, exercise, this will contract. And if this muscle is not strong enough to hold in that urine, even if it's a teeny tiny bit of urine, you're gonna get leakage. Ooh, that's a horrible leakage drop. Yeah, so that's how you fix that.
Well, that was awkward.